Hi, Bill Yannick here with today's episode of the Daily Grind, and we have another fantastic guest. So our first week of the Daily Grind, we talked about dark stores. Last week, hopefully you had a chance to look at, we talked about compliance. And this week, in our third week into the Daily Grind, we're going to talk about successful supplier partnerships. And if you haven't seen the Daily Grind before, we'll do this a few more times and hopefully then we can move forward. But we started the Daily Grind as The Grind, which was a weekly show to focus on Connex 2020. And since Connex 2020 was postponed till next year, and with the COVID-19 and the pandemic, we saw a need and a desire from our membership to hear from us every day. And we try to do this in 5-minute snippets every day at 1 Central at the same link and same time. And we bring in from the wealth of FM experts that we have in our Connex membership, we go through, and Alex DiPietro is joining me today. She's from Herc Rentals, and I'll give her a chance to introduce herself and her company in a minute. But if you don't know Herc Rentals, one of the interesting things about this, especially talking about supplier partnerships, is they're a hybrid member of Connex. They've been with us a couple of years, but they're both a supplier and a multi-site retailer on the other side. So Alex, welcome to the Daily Grind.
Yes, thank you for having me, Bill. Love what you've been doing with the sessions and excited to be a part of it. So share a little bit about Herc Rentals. So we're a national full service equipment rental provider. We've got about 280 locations across North America. We offer thousands of rental solutions ranging from construction equipment to aerial lifts, floor care, climate control, and power generation, just to name a few of them.
Wow, yes. And I have a feeling during a pandemic, a lot of those items come in handy. So how is Herc Rentals addressing the pandemic? What are some of the operational issues that you're dealing with?
Absolutely, and you would be right. So Herc in general is a very safety-focused organization. So really early on, our safety team started monitoring COVID-19 and implementing various safety precautions to ensure the safety of our colleagues and our customers. One major thing I'd say we did about 4 weeks ago was to quickly enable our 400 plus corporate office employees to work remote. It's a big undertaking, as I'm sure many other organizations are facing as well, but luckily we're able to do that within a couple of days. But on the flip side to that, as you mentioned, we are a bit of a hybrid. So as an essential business, our 280 branch locations are open to serve their respective communities across the country. And at these locations, we've taken extraordinary measures to minimize exposure to and the impacts of COVID-19. Obviously, we're continuing to adhere to the CDC's guidance across our operations there as well. But throughout this time, we're also helping our customers respond to COVID through a variety of recovery work as well. So what I mean by that, we're deploying a ton of generators, portable cooling, material handling, lighting, and air quality control for a variety of critical facilities across the country, including many of those testing sites and triage centers as well.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff, a lot going on. And when you talk about your sites being all open for business, what an interesting time. And you mentioned, and if you don't know, that Alex's spouse is a first responder, so I'm sure he's going to work and you're going to work and all your sites are open. It's just kind of crazy times there. In these crazy times, you need great relationships and partnerships with your suppliers. What are some of your tenets, I guess, at Herc that you talk about on building those and maintaining successful supplier partnerships?
Honestly, I'd say really just one tip, and it goes really for any of the suppliers that you work with, and it's just ask. So what I ask anybody that we partner with is anytime that you have a problem, just feel free to reach out and have the conversation. Today and really every day at Herc Rentals, we're happy to provide creative solutions to our customers, as I'm sure many of your supplier partners are as well. At the end of the day, I know we've heard it a lot, but it's true. We're truly all in this together, and we really welcome the opportunity to help. So feel free to just ask.
Good stuff. And we'll ask, we try to stay optimistic here as nationwide. This can be a tough couple of weeks, but let's think 60 or 90 days down the road here when we're coming out of this. What are some of the things that Herc is doing to prepare us to re-engage or reopen the economy?
Absolutely. Well, I can definitely speak to some things that we anticipate that will continue to be a large need for our customers and for facilities across the country as we start to get back to normal. We really believe that air quality control will still be a very big application moving forward. And, it's timely as we start to reopen these facilities. It's going to be right in the peak of summer months. So we anticipate that the needs for temporary cooling will ramp up pretty quickly, as well as a lot of these facilities, everybody's been cooped up at home. So they're likely going to see more people in their facilities than normal during these peak summer months, which will likely cause some stress on their HVAC systems, which have not been working too hard as their facilities were closed for the past couple months.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting times, and we want to get to those interesting times sooner rather than later. But Alex, appreciate your time. You packed so much into these couple minutes here, and at some point we'd love to have you back and talk to you maybe on the other side of this when we talk about how we're coming out of the pandemic response. And for our audience out there for the Daily Grind, thank you for your time today. It's every day, 1 Central, same link, same time. We love to have you join us for the Daily Grind, and we'll be here tomorrow with another fantastic guest. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.